Hello, everybody. I'm Raleigh, and this is Lily.
And welcome back to episode 5 of Loving Jesus Together.
Yay.
Yay.
First try. That actually was the first try.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so today we are continuing. I don't think this is on.
It's not.
Sorry.
We're continuing the commandments talk.
Yeah, the study on commandments. So,
She's sick.
I'm sick. So last week we said that we were only doing one, but we actually did two. We did 1 and 2.
Without knowing.
We did you shall have no other gods before me, and then you shall not make yourself a carved image, an idol. We talked a lot about idols, so
We did. So now we're doing 3 and 4.
Do you want to read it?
Sure. Okay. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. That's the third.
Okay, should we just pause there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we decided to do both of them because you can't really talk too much about that because it's kind of like just
simple.
Yeah. But yeah. So
Okay. Basically, like, our main point was like his name should only be used for glory. It's just like, why, like, if you're a Christian, why would you not want to give him glory? And when you think about it, it's like he's worthy of everything, and so why would you want to like dishonor him? Because like basically you're just saying he's like every other person, right?
yeah.
Like, imagine someone taking like your name in vain. Like,
Yeah.
it hurts.
Oh, my Raleigh. That doesn't have a ring to it though. I also think that in the Bible it talks about your words have the power to heal or to kill. And so if you're saying, oh my, I can't even say it. Like, I literally can't even say it. My dad raised us that if you say it, like, you're in trouble. So
Yeah.
now I can't even say it. But like, if you say that, like, you stub your toe and you say that, like, that's not healing, but it's also like not murdering anybody. But if it's not healing, then why say it? If it's not out of love, then why say it? If it's not,
Yeah, like, there's no point.
There's just no point, and I think
It's not fruitful. It's not.
Yeah, I really just am so strong on that his name should only be used for glory, like Lily said. Because it's just there's so many things about it.
Yeah, it's also kind of hard because like you kind of do it in the moment sometimes. I mean, people also
do it in the moment.
Yeah.
I say, oh my gosh.
Like,
It's just there.
It's just how I. Yeah. But like, it's easy to, but it's also like you're doing it. But I also think it's like how you were raised, like you said. It's kind of hard, like, to, like, if you just say it all the time, it's kind of hard to break that
just like
addiction,
anything.
I guess.
Yeah. Habit.
Yeah, like, we were raised in Christian homes, so it's easy for us because that's just like how we were taught. But if you weren't, then it's a lot harder.
But it's probably just like a normal thing you say. Like, it's not a cuss word. So
yeah, and like sometimes you don't even know, like, if you weren't raised in a Christian home, you just like don't know that it's, I guess, used in vain.
Yeah.
So.
And then we looked at the definition of vain, and vain means useless and producing nothing. So why say his name, like, if you stub your toe? Like, yeah, it's not doing anything. It's not benefiting anything. It's not producing anything. It's just, like, I don't even,
it's just there. It's just a filler word.
Yeah, it's literally just something you say. And
you could say so many other things.
Like, oh, my biscuits. Shoot a pigeon. I used to say that all the time. I used to say that all the time. I love that. When I was a gymnast, I used to say that all the time. But, like, I just don't see the point in it, but I also know that if you were raised doing it and it is a habit, then it's kind of like
hard to break.
Yeah. And people don't see it as a cuss word, so it can be like, Now,
on the other hand, like, if you're using it to give glory to God, then I mean,
yeah,
I guess say it all the time, like.
But I think that if, like, say, like, we were talking and, like, Lily's like says something crazy and I'm like, oh my gosh, like the real one, because that was crazy. Like, that's not. It's not neither bad nor good. So if I were
just there.
Yeah, and if I were to be like, hey, like, why'd you say that? And you would be like, oh, I didn't say it in a bad way. Like, I wasn't mad when I said it. But, like, why'd you say it? Like, I just don't see the point unless you're saying, oh my God, you are so good. I don't know.
Yeah, like,
some people say they can say it if they're not bringing God's name down. I think that's just something you need to figure out on your walk with the Lord.
Yeah, just like, it's the same thing. Like, why would you say it then? Like, just don't.
Yeah. Unless, like, maybe their mindset's like, I'm saying his name, so maybe people will hear about him.
That.
You never know.
I mean,
that
yeah,
could
you
be
never know. That
someone's.
could be true, but.
But I mean, yeah, that's just our main points on that one. See, if we had just done that, it would have been a 5-minute podcast.
Yeah.
So, and then the second one, do you want to read it?
No, you can read it.
Okay.
You have to read that olive.
Where is it? Is it 8?
This and down.
8, okay. Okay, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath day to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your male servant or your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy.
Ooh. Basically, remember the Sabbath, work.
Yeah, so that's like the kind of the basic points. My main point that I thought about it was cool is how the Lord made the world in 6 days. Like literally everything you see he made in 6 days. And then the 7th day he rested. And that's what he's asking us to do. He's asking us to rest in him. I said like kind of not, maybe it could be physical rest, but it's also like you're not gonna nap the whole day. Like you're not just gonna be in your bed the whole day. That's
You're gonna go to church.
Yeah. I think it's more resting in him. Which means like resting in his presence, his word. So
yeah. My main point was like keeping it dedicated to the Lord, and like every day of your life should be dedicated to the Lord. But like it's where you come together with community and other believers, and that like really also helps strengthen your faith. And like Sunday should be different from any other day, just because like that's like the day you
for church.
Yeah, day for church. It's just how it is.
Everyone knows it.
But like your faith should be the same throughout the week. Like it shouldn't change. You shouldn't like love God Sunday and then not Monday.
Yeah, that's like the song Monday Morning Faith.
I didn't even know that.
See, I need a Monday Morning Faith. That was literally what just popped in my head.
Yeah, I didn't even know
that. But yeah, I just think that. Let me reread. I think that if you're going about like, I think it's very explicit. Like explicit, is that the right word? I don't know. It says like, do your work for the 6 days, but on that day, do not do your work. So it's very like adamant about don't do whatever work that is on that day. Which I think sometimes you can't get out of work. I think like some people
work Sundays.
Pastors, get it together. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Obviously I have to.
But they're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. Hands and feet. Okay, but that's kind of the main things we had about this. Like, I just think that
community is a big thing, and so like when you come together, it's just like I don't know. I love my church family, and I know she does too, for both her churches. And what?
I was gonna say we're at Green Pines right now, guys.
We are. And so it's just like when you have that like sense of
fellowship, community,
comfort and like community, like
safe spot.
Yeah, like
secret place,
like safe, like like you're safe and like at home with fellow believers. It's just like you feel a lot of love.
Yeah, and I think that's what the Lord would want you to be surrounded with on the day you rest.
Yeah.
Because I think you could say rest and you could think, oh, I stayed in my pants. Yeah, like, oh, let me lay in bed. Like the Lord says I can be in bed all day. But look up the definition of rest. Not now, but like I'm saying, I wonder what the definition is. What is the definition of rest?
There are 2 words spelled like rest. Rest means the remaining part of something.
Cease work or movement in order to relax, refresh oneself, or recover strength. Yeah, so.
Oh, that's good.
It doesn't say sleep in that. But, hey. Ow, my hip!
That was your hand?
Did you see that? And then we're just gonna continue talking about that for a second. We just kind of feel called. Yeah, we're gonna read a little bit from the love chapter, which is literally what people call this. It's called the way of love. It's 1 Corinthians 13. I'm sure everyone knows it. The famous verse, it's like love is patient, love is kind, does not envy, does not boast. Probably in someone's house somewhere. It's in mine.
It's probably in mine.
But
my mic died.
oh, it didn't. You just hit the button. But we just think that a lot of Christians or believers do a lot of things, and sometimes we forget to include love in that because we think we're obeying God's word. And yes, obedience is a sign of love, I think. But if you're doing stuff without love in your heart and you're doing it for a different reason, then that's not what the Lord says to do. So I think sometimes we just need to refresh and we need to check our hearts and we need to make sure there's love in there. So we're just going to read a little bit of this. This chapter's not long, I don't think. Yeah, it's not long at all. So we're going to go ahead and read the whole chapter, but we'll do it in sections.
If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing.
So basically, you can do all the works you want. You can go to church. You can give money to the homeless. You can literally do everything, But if you are not doing it because of love and you are doing it because it's obedience, then you have nothing. Then yes, your works are good, but your heart is not
what's the point?
Literally, your heart is not where God wants it to be. Yeah. Okay. Continue. 4-7.
Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy nor boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. That's good.
I'm pretty sure this is in my bathroom. One of them. Okay, so first,
pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, the first line, patience, kindness, does not envy, is not arrogant. So if you're doing something and your motivations are not patience or kind, or that's not in your heart, and envy and being boastful is in there, and it's in your mind or somewhere, then that's not what the Lord is calling on your heart.
Yeah.
Because Jesus is love. So, yeah. And then the second.
My mic.
Stop hitting the button.
I'm not hitting the button. I swear.
I think you are.
I love Jesus. That's what I said.
Don't hold it like that. Hold it like this. Okay, read the second line again.
Yeah, it's dying. It just turned red.
It can't die if it's plugged in. Lily, it can't die.
It literally just flashed red. Huh.
Interesting.
Huh.
This is very interesting. It can't die if it's plugged in.
It's not plugged in. You have to plug it in.
It is plugged in.
But you have to plug
3 hours later.
Okay, we are switching to no mics because
they died.
Yeah, I didn't think they could die, but I guess they can. Okay, read the second line.
They can't.
I told you. Okay, read the second line.
What?
Read this line.
Or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful.
Again, so if any of your plans or just anything is irritable, or you're doing it out of irritabilism.
That's not a word I don't think. Resentful.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that a word?
Resentfulness.
These are words.
But I just think that you should not do it.
What's the definition of love? That's the definition of love. But
Jesus Christ is the definition of love. I don't know. Search it up. Actually. Definition of love.
Love means an intense feeling of deep affection.
An intense feeling of deep affection. Jesus feels that towards us. We feel that towards him.
We deserve nothing, but he gave us everything.
Quote it.
So like, if he gave us everything, why wouldn't you want to be like him? And I mean, we obviously can't be like him, but we can try.
In the Bible, when it talks about that we were made to replicate him and be as much as Jesus as we can, like be his image, he is love. So
Be love.
where are they going?
I don't know.
He does everything without irritabilism. I'm making that a word. Resentfulness, arrogance, envy, or boast. Or he's never rude. He does all of those.
That's crazy to me.
He does it all with patience, kindness, love, rejoices with the truth, love he bears all things. Like, that's what we're called to be like, which is hard. Every day it's hard.
Sometimes we don't do it. A lot of times we don't do it.
A lot of times we don't do it.
But
if you have a chance to show the love of Christ,
do it.
Yeah, I think.
Why would you be rude? No reason.
I mean, if somebody is like coming at you and you just want to be like, bah! Like I get that's a little hard to not do.
But like to a waiter, your waitress, like, I was just using.
Oh, I was like, who did that?
No. I just see it all the time. Like, people are being rude to like people who are waiting on you.
Yeah.
Like, they're serving you.
Yeah.
And so it just.
And I just think that if you are doing things, like say your day is just going, and multiple things have been happening, and someone's hurt, and then later on, someone else is hurt, and maybe it's surrounding you or whatever. I think that's a good time to go away, be with Christ, and be like, reveal to me if I'm not doing anything with love, because if you're not, then that's not from the Lord. Like, he would never call you to do something that is not from love, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
So. Okay, keep reading. 8. Oh,
Love bears all things. Is that talking about burdens?
Definition of bears all things.
You don't need the definition.
Oh, darn it. Okay, fine, we don't get the definition. I mean, I think bears all things. Your friend is going through a hard time, you go through that hard time with her. Your friend is having a party, you go to the party with her.
Or don't go to the party at all.
Okay, what? Lily, come on now. She needs your support, you go.
Yes. But no.
If your friend gets hit by a car, go out and get hit by a car the next day.
Yes.
What's that say?
Believes all things.
No, I'm not so sure. Some of my friends believe some crazy things. And so I just don't know if I can. I don't think it means agree with all things. Or believe in.
No.
I feel like it means believe in them. Just kidding. What do you think that means, Liz?
I'm trying to think of what to say. Love believes all things. Do you think that's what we were talking about earlier? Like, it assumes the best?
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe. I don't know. Believe.
Like truth? Like, if someone's telling you something, you're gonna think that's truth? Do you think that's what it's saying or no?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it could be like, yeah, believes all things. I guess it's a sense of trust.
Mm-hmm.
Put your trust in them. Put your trust in who you love.
Mm-hmm.
And if they prove it wrong, then...
And most importantly, Jesus.
Yeah, and they don't love you back.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Depressing.
Love. If they lie to you, they don't love you. Okay.
Love hopes all things. Hope is a big thing to have.
Hope is in the Lord. Hope is not what you can see. You don't hope for things that you can see. It's like...
I think when you're going through hard times, you know that Jesus always loves you. And there's hope in the end.
And you can't see that you're going to be okay. But you can hope in the Lord you're going to be okay.
Put your hope in the Lord.
Yeah. And then endures all things, which is kind of like bear. I feel like that's bears all things. Like, I don't
You
know.
go through everything, but you still have love.
Yeah. Love!
Yeah, you know that saying, like, hurt people. If you're hurt, don't hurt other people. Show love.
And also when people are like,
Put it in the past. Can't change it.
if they do it again, forgive them, just step away. Step away. What's fun? There's more.
Yeah, I didn't read that.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Okay. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. So now faith, hope, and love abide, as these three, but the greatest of these is love. Okay. Love never ends.
Love never ends. I'm never lost. Okay.
So basically, like what she was just saying, like if someone wrongs you, you should still like have that love because the love from Jesus never ends.
If you think Jesus, oh, go ahead, Lily.
No, you can go.
Go ahead.
No.
Lily.
You can go. I forgot.
You didn't?
I did. I swear.
I was just gonna say, like, you think when they tried to persecute him over and over and over again,
Still
he
have
stopped loving them?
No.
I would have. I think I
I mean,
would
yeah.
have.
I would have.
Like, you come at me once, okay, I think I can forgive you. You come at me 3, 5, 6, 7. No, I don't know.
Multiple.
That's gonna be kind of hard to love you.
Yeah. And like everything else will pass away, but love will always stay.
Yeah. Oh, Lily rhyming.
Yeah.
Everything else will pass away, but love will always.
I'm doing good this episode.
Yeah, for real. We need to like quote these guys. Come on. If you see us next, this is how you get a shout out. If you see us next, quote us to our face. Right, Lil?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. This is all. When I read this chapter, I only got 2 things.
Oh, I kind of like that.
What?
It says when like the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. And when I think of like right there, verse 10, but when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. When I think of like when the perfect comes, I think Jesus coming back because he's perfect. So everything else will pass away, but he's still love.
Yeah, that's a good way because it says like everything. And it's kind of like what? Like how will love stay if like everything's gone? Because Jesus is here. That means love is here.
Yeah.
Lils, put her there. Okay, Lils is eating it up today. All right. Where are we?
I don't know what it means by like the whole child thing.
Where?
Verse 11.
I'm sorry
What do
I
you-
messed with my hair so much.
What do you think it means by for now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face? Do you think it's talking about Jesus?
For now
Like
we
we
see
see,
in a
like,
mirror
portions.
dimly.
Like we don't actually like. I mean,
Well, what do you see in a mirror, Lily?
me.
Yourself. Read it.
Oh,
Read it
that was
again.
good. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. We are made in His image.
I mean, yeah, maybe it's like you see Jesus through. No, that can't be right.
We don't know, guys.
We're not theologians,
Yeah.
which it is a word. And I was like, I don't know if that's a word.
No, it is a word.
It is a word. I heard Josh say that.
Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known.
Now I know in part.
Then I shall know fully.
Then I should know. When is then? Then is when he comes here.
Okay, the best verse. Well, 1 Corinthians 13:13. So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is love.
That's the best verse?
No, I just said that. I meant out of 1 Corinthians 13.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, I thought.
Hope and love, three greatest things. Well,
But what's the
Jesus,
best?
love.
Let me show you guys this verse.
Been
I was
original
reading
lately.
first. It was Greg. It was Greg.
Greg?
I think it was Greg
Oh,
slash
Greg.
Greg. I don't think Greg's gonna watch these.
No, but you know what?
But I was like, hey, that's 1 Corinthians. I'm reading that, and then sure enough, a few days later, I read it. It says it's 1 Corinthians 15:33. Do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. We don't have to go into that, but I just love that verse. So.
I kind of want to go into that. I mean, yeah. I feel like without faith, you don't have hope. And then, like, if you don't have anything to hope for, I feel like you don't have love.
Okay. Say that again, Lily.
What? I feel like without faith, you don't have hope. And then without hope, what is there to love for and live for?
So poetic. Get it, guys? Because love is Jesus. So if you don't have love, you don't. Yeah. Okay. Faith and hope. Sometimes it's hard to like faith. My definition of that is like believing what you can't see. That's what I always think. But hope. I was reading about that. Hope is like, again, it's something you can't see, but it's in Jesus. Like it's not biblical. Like there's a worldly version of hope, and then there is a wordly.
I love that.
There's a world. There's God's way of hope. I was trying to make a word for it. And so I don't know, like, what you could sum it up. The God's way of hope is.
I'm thinking. I think it's when you go through hard times, but you still have joy because you know there is something better to come. We talked about that at the funeral today. The pastor.
I just don't know what to say.
Yeah, because he was like saying like, without Jesus, there's no joy, peace, or hope.
Without Jesus, there's no love, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control.
Fruits of the Spirit.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think to sum that all up,
love never ends.
love never ends.
Love is Jesus, and love is great.
Sometimes. I used to say that love is stupid, and I didn't believe in love. Because, like, I looked at couples, and I was like, why do you love him? Like, why do you love her? Like, there's nothing great about that one person. And then I met Jesus, and I was like, low-key, this guy's really cool. Low-key. No, I'm just kidding. But,
do you think it's weird to say that Jesus is the love of your life?
No, because we are his bride.
Yeah, I got that. But I saw this video, and she said it in some weird way.
I mean, if you're taking it to a weird extreme.
She took it to a weird extreme, though.
What did she say?
I don't know, but, like, she saw a video that was, like, someone called Jesus, like, the love of their life, and then she, like, did a video on that.
And was like, that's weird?
Yeah. But I don't think it's weird.
I don't think it's weird. Jesus is the love of my life.
My life, too.
So.
My one and only.
One and only.
Taken's the same thing.
Oh, I thought I said, are you single?
No.
My bad. Okay. Forget that. But that's my new Bible.
Yay.
Anyways, but to sum that all up, guys, I just think that if you're going about your day and you're making decisions and you're not, like, reflecting, being like, is this out of love? Like, that's...
Do self-reflections a lot.
Retract and reflect. Because we all need to do that a lot. But the Lord is so serious about love, and I just think that if you're a follower of Christ, that means you are called to replicate love. You are called to, that's a way of showing people Christ, is being loving to others. That could be the only Jesus they see that day.
Yeah.
So I think that, and like, I think there's a difference in being loving, like, friendly loving, like, oh, Lily, like, hey girl, how are you doing? Like, that's love. That's nice. But also, if you're doing things like, I don't know how to word this, but if you're doing things and, like, in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, this could get her mad, or this could, like, have this, but, like, say, yeah, it's, like, kind of sounds like love. Like, say I was like, oh, Lily, your hair, it actually looks so much better now. Like, I was, like, waiting for you to get it done. Like,
see, I would cry.
Yeah, people around are going to be like, oh, like, that's kind of a compliment, but in my mind, I'm like, she knows what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I just think that that's not love.
So basically, don't take the name of the... Don't take the Lord's name in vain.
Yep.
Keep the Sabbath holy.
Yep.
And love.
Love.
Because love never ends.
Because why?
Jesus never ends.
Word! But yeah, guys, that's all we had for today. I hope you guys like this one the best. I think it's, oh yeah, you're right. I think this has been my favorite one.
I agree.
Because I don't know. I'm not vibing with the car. It was just too ghetto.
This came off. I can't put it back on.
Okay, shout outs. Low key, I don't think. I don't always say that when we're getting shout out. I don't think anyone said something to me about our podcast.
Chris.
Who's Chris?
Pratt.
Yeah, he got a shout out in the one that came out last night.
Well.
Remember, I said CP. I said it multiple times, like multiple. I gave it to Miss Lisa, but she hasn't watched it yet.
No one watched it.
Yeah, because it came out last night.
Yeah.
So.
Can you see if anyone did?
Yeah, but not right now. Okay, so do you have any shout outs?
Whoever watched it, you're a shout out.
My dad didn't even watch it.
I mean, it was posted last night, so whoever watched
No.
it between 11 something p.m. to now.
I'm talking about the last one.
What do you mean?
The one before that. He didn't watch it. He's like, I couldn't find it.
Yes.
And then I went to his
Who
thing.
watched that one then? Did Damien say he watched it?
Damien didn't say anything about it.
No one did. Sorry.
That one was the Chick-fil-A one. That one was a good one too. In my opinion.
It was the Chick-fil-A one? I thought it was the Bojangles one.
That's what I meant by within my Chick-fil-A.
Got you.
One.
Bless you.
Okay. So no shout outs because guys, if you like our podcast, if you listen to our podcast and you tell us you like it, you will get a shout out.
You will.
You will. But we were filming at Green Pines today.
Yay.
This might be our new spot, but we don't know. So, Green Pines is our shout out. All right. It's been real.
It's been fun.
It's been real fun. Bye guys.
Bye.